there's babulim, there's not a geherge seder of when, it's not like you have a kiddush and you have to make a suda. You're not sure where you're going to go for your suda, you're not sure where you're going to eat, the Megillah, there's a lot of babulim, a lot of mitzvahs ayoyim of that. And then you also have to have Chai Vodam, the Bisume Biparayid, Loyoda, Sheta Sachnev. But with the right achana to Purim, then a person knows and lives that every moment of Purim becomes Kodesh Kodashim. Every moment of Purim becomes, by him, a tremendous Shabbos Hadas to understand and to live in the greatness of the day, because it's not shot that I'm not sure what to do now, when to make my tefillah, when person that zoiche to be making koroi for Purim, zoiche the tremendous Yishuv Hadas. And as is Yedua to everybody, that one of the most important ways to prepare for the Yom Tov is to learn the Masechta that Yom Tov. If a person understands, if a person has the koiches and the capabilities of sitting and learning through Sugya, Matoiv Manoim. But if not, because the person goes through as much as he could, open up the Gemara, as it started with him, say Kohen as a Megillah, yeah? I'm sorry, I'm starting to bring in your Shas. And we have the Nikras B'Rali B'Dez, we give them down to as well, the Pasuk Yoyse, right? And a person starts the Masechta, the Mishnais, and the Mamish, you can't do more, these two Mishnais, you go through, and a person zoiche to have an idea, first of all, everyone knows how much the first parak of Megillah is Mefarish, the Psuki HaMegillah. I've had if a person zoiche to go through the Megillah in itself, Pashut, the Megillah in itself, with Rashi and everything, but this is all the Chana, is totally in Zman, is totally a person making that decision with enough time to be able to prepare for that. Tzadikim said, I think Daily Badicheva, the Yitzchak Sasha, that Be'etzim Tu B'Shvat is a chana for Tu B'Shvat starts Kabbalah Satayr. How? Fine. So that we already know that Moshe Rabbeinu in Chodesh Shvat was very as a Torah Zois Beseder, but there was a Nakuda. Pashas Yisro is going to be in Shvat 100% Kabbalah Satayr, but what did Shvat Echesh Mazoy? That Tu B'Shvat is a chana for Purim. Purim is a chana for Pesach. And Pesach is a chol of Kabbalah Satorah. So that means that Tu B'Shvat is already the chol of Kabbalah Satorah because it prepares for Purim prepares for Pesach, and Pesach is all about reaching the 50th level, which is Shavuos. So the Nakuda is, but it's all totally in cheshboning right, and making the right decision, and wanting to finish. It's very hard to start Mamash Erev Purim, Tainis Esther, to start, now I want to go through the Megillah, and Masechtas Megillah, and the Mefarish Megillah, and this beer. But now that we have an Ibiyar, and we're Mamash, we're Shloshim Yom Koydem Achad, from Purim Rishon, from Adar Rishon, there's more than enough time for a person to put himself into the Masechta. If a person is to be able to learn the Masechta, Mohorash Toisvis, the Sifsei Chacham Megillah is very geschmack. There's a target, but that's not even the Nikuda. The Nikuda is a fila every single day. One Amud, you have enough time now. If you start from today, a little bit more Amud and a little bit, even one Amud, as much as you understand, but you making an achana builds a kli for the art. It builds a kli for the art. It's very important also on this topic. Every achana, even to learn Svarim that are way above us. Right? The person learns the Svarim that are Rizal, Shar Kavan is important. Shar Kavanas on Shabbos, Shar Kavanas in any mitzvah. Even if a person doesn't know what he's talking about in it, but the Matzis is, first of all, Kabbalah from a Rebbe, the Munkach Rebbe, used to say all about the Svarim that are very deep. The Neshama understands. Alavai, eventually the Seichel understand also, but the Matzis says if a person goes through, first of all, he has an akora that it's very, very, very big. That means a person opens up Avada from Megillah, he understands it's all the halachas of Avada, the halachas of Megillah, the halachas of Matanis Lavyonim, the halachas of Suda, of Chayvin, and Shavin. But when you look through the Zmanim the avoidance as manim and the Kabbalistic swarm, you open up a shak of honest, you open up to see what's going on, and they create chaim. Understand that the titzich da zachin and the odem silgoinen that are whoa, meaning I don't have to know exactly what's tutzach. I don't have to know how to make these yichudim and understand. But what I do know is that when a person reads through it, versteht man that the Zigang to the mitzvah becomes very different. They're going to the mitzvah because they understand that during the Kriyas Megillah and the shameless that about how the Yichudim and the Psukim and the Kriyas Megillah is not only being read and understood in this world, it's creating mamish as up in the higher worlds again, being machniya the klip of Haman and Amalek, and we're making the souls for completely getting rid of Amalek and the Kalkite, and we're saying it's the noise of Kedusha, the Kedusha of Mordechai, and the Kedusha of Esther, and the Kedusha of the highest levels of Geula. It's very, very big. A person understands that in every aspect of the mitzvahs, this Zachem was in the gross. You don't know how to read those words again. This guy, you open up and you see, like, whoa, big stuff. Every mitzvah. Person, that was one of the very important things that the Baal Sulam wanted, that Erlich Yidin wanted everybody, even kids, should learn a little bit from the Kisvei Ari, even if you don't understand, because then what you do understand is that there's big things going on. Person understand that's the Titzich Grosse Sachen. You see there's Yichudim and there's shameless and there's Heskashus Ha'olemus and there's who knows what's up. So a person goes through the mitzvah, it brings an asterisk to the mitzvah. Even if I don't know how to make what's going on, understand the Poyal Mamish, but that's not my job. My job is to get a Hislahavah, so I get an excitement. And also, more than anything, it builds a tremendous kli, to be able to get to Or afterwards. Person's Eichel from mitzvah to learn the halachas, the Gemara, the Kisvei Ari, a little bit Chassidus Svarim on the Indian. It makes a kli that later when the mitzvah does come, the Zman does come, the Yom Tov does come, there's a certain order of personal on the Sichos that you'll feel it's noinaros. Noinaros. And I want to tell you, it's a very, very important thing for a person's Eichel. Pesach, it's a hard Masechta, it's a big Masechta. But you go through Chalamoid, you do every single day, there's a lot of time to learn, and Leisish, the few black, until Shvi Shal Pesach, good start to be Shmini Shal Pesach, like you see him on Masechtas Pesachim. You pour him in one day, there's an Akudah Toiva, they start after Megillah down the Sikin, after they start from the Falif, until Shkia, they finish the whole Masechta. You say it's a big avoid, you have to have geduld for that. But beside it, but the Nakud is, but everybody now, the point is that you have enough time that a person could put himself into the avoider and be able to make a good clean. And also this furthermore. So it's very, very, very big things. You should know about the Indian of Ibiyar. Ibiyar is a great man that the Kedusha is much, much greater. Ad Kedei Kach, some say, in Halacha, I think it's going to be wrong if I'm not mistaken, that the Ikur Shoivim, all the tikkunim of Shoivim is dafka by an Ibiyar. More than on a regular year. A lot of the tikkunim that go on, Ibiyar is a big, it's a hemshich. One of the Yonim is Pashat, as we've already discussed before, that it shows part of the Hemshech's greatest rachman is that he gives us even more time to do tshuva. And I'm out biz mishpatim. Now we also have Terumah Tetzaveh. And some say, yeah, Yaakov Kudik. And some say, Magen Avram says, that in a regular year it's Shoivim Tat, and in Ibiyar it's also Yaakov Kudik. The whole Chumash Shemos. Yeah? Wow, shkoyach. Excellent. Yeah, so a person, so an Ibiyar, when you have even more time, is a gewaldige is galus a chasadim. The Eibishter gave us more time. More time to do tshuva, the more we get to rectify. That means what comes later, we have a bigger or. So that means that the Purim on a Ibiyar, a person can be Zaycha. But Zach is not to be foolish and to listen. I have to push myself as well, but the good is to let's be chachamim and use the time. But the Maisa, what happened is we just spoke about a lot. A person learning the halachas, a person learning the Masechta, a person learning Kisvei Ari. A person doesn't even know Aleph Beis yet, you know what I mean? And you're already telling me all these things. So that's the Nekuda. The Nekuda is as much, Alavai, you can take at least one parak or a few dafim, one sugi in them is in maybe the psukim of the Megillah, it's a lot of Agadita, maybe that to try to understand, but the rest, stuck a lot. Maybe I don't have the time and the patience, but if a person knows that he could read it, and with as much as Havana he has, and if not, it's also okay. So then it's shaykh to do it. The ikr is to get into the herigel of a lot of limit. I'm really looking at myself. talk to myself, I'm chazak myself, but I'm talking to myself out loud, and if whoever listens, if it could be jealous, if I could accomplish 2 things or 3 things at once, is good, but I really don't talk to myself. And the Nakuda is, if a person is to do a lot of Amiram, first, there's always something you can understand. Yeah? There's always something you can understand. Why is that? Because there's the Matthias says a person versteht etwas. You see a word, a sugya, a line, etwas you can understand. So if a person takes the Masech and you go through it, maybe there's parts you won't understand. But there's definitely halak you can understand. And also the Kli, which is an Indian, the Kli is also a Chitzoniistic Indian, which is the Kabbalah opinion means that for sure there is if a person says all the words of the Masechta, even of the Shulchan Aruch, of the Hilchos Megillah, of Hilchos Purim, there's always something you know. And if there's something which interests you, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'd like to know more about this. So you can ask somebody. Ask a rabbi who's reading through the Shulchan Aruch and Mishnah Berurah, and I saw, what's this halacha? It sounded interesting to me. So there's a big tayelas because a person gets into the avodah and the hergel of limud Torah. And I think I already mentioned last week, very stark, this nakuda, the importance of not maching avek, this kind of limud Torah, because mator menorma, someone that has its flesh that can sit, but everybody else, what's with them? They're potter from Torah. The Gemara Megillah right away. Daf Beis Amud Beis tells us over there. Maybe Mukaf and Klal Loy. Maybe they didn't have to have Purim because it says Prosim Arei Prozi, and if there's no Mukaf, so maybe Klal Loy, there's no Megillah. So what is going to say? What, they're not Jews? Of course they have to have Purim. I don't have to have Purim, but you can say maybe they don't have Mitzvah. What, they're not Jews? Of course they eat. Have to have Megillah, so they say no, so they're going to be as well. Right? So the Elbazach somebody that doesn't have the capabilities of sitting, a man who's schwitzing over a sugya. So what? So they're not Jews? They don't have to sit down, they don't have to learn. There is a Matthias, a person makes an Amira, tries to understand the most he could, and he's Zoicha to, you can be Zoicha to Dargas. There's a famous story before we get to what I want to say. I've seen it, I've heard it, that there was a very, very, very simple, if I'm not mistaken, either a shoemaker or a tailor. Even an Amoritz. He was mamush, he didn't know much. But Chazal tell us, if a person finishes Shas, to go through Shas, he's zoicha to get a Tzelem Elikim. Whatever that means, every year has a Tzelem Elikim, maybe more. There's a certain title that he gets, and you could see on the person a Tzelem Elikim. See something more, I guess, than the regular, typical. It's a different meaning, because everyone has a Tzelem Elikim Baro, he said. But there's a Matthias, if something that's zoicha to the Tzelem. Tzelem, the reason under Shashas and Yonim Kabbalah, what the Tzelem is. There's a Nakuda, a Lavush called a Tzelem, Paninius Oiris, that a person gets in the Neshama, by the bris, by the Metzitza. That's when the person's zoicha to the Tzelem, different than Yonim. When a person's zoicha to finish Shas, and some big Yid saw the seed, Mamash at Tzelem. And it's like, whoa, must be a big Tam Chacham. And the guy's like, I promise you, I don't know nothing. He says, but you can't be makish, you can't deny. I see in your face, the Matthias. Looks like somebody like you have it tell him. He says, I don't know. I can tell you one thing, that for years I just take out a Gemara, I don't understand the word, I just sit and I go through page by page, and I've done that a couple of times. He says, jetzt verstehe ich, now I understand. Because even going through like that, the tzelem you still get. That's the importance of a person going through. There's a story I heard from the Rebbe Shemata. One time said over, I remember the Sefer, but just that nobody should think that's the writer about the Sefer, one of an earlier Kabbalistic Sefer. It was a very special Yid. It was a big tzaddik. And he wrote a very big Sefer. And this Sefer, this Machaber writes in the beginning that he was never able to learn. Mom was not able to learn. Garnished years. But he never gave up. Always opened up. So and the biggest thing he did was, he was davening very hard to the Eibishter. Davening a lot. Bunch of, please give me the capabilities of understanding. Give me the capabilities of understanding. Years went by, nothing went in. Mom should garnish. But he was never Miyash, and he never stopped giving it a try. Man, one day I'll understand. Ready says on Swarm, Shikha is only in this world. The person goes through a sigil, Amar Rabbi, Amar Rabbi, Machlekes like this. I woke out, I don't remember anything. I don't remember I said Amar Rabbi, I don't even know what I just did. But that's only in this world. And Mechlas Mishana, once you're dying and the Sham was up there, you saw them, you saw it. It's in there. It's in the cup. It's in the head. Shikha is a shaykh to tikkun of this world. So love is not going to be shikha. You're going to take away all the blockages. A person that went through Shas, even just saying it, saw the words, fine, maybe now you get a chance to pluck away at it, go deeper, but you have it, it's in it. It's a tremendous ach. So this Yid, Mamish went at it and kept davening. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was already like 80 years old. Mamish had like a whole lifetime. Maybe 70, but I think it was 80. He didn't stop his avoid. He used to daven, he used to cry to the Eibishter that he should help him understand Torah. What had happened was, one night he fell asleep, and a malach came to him, and in 3 nights taught him Kol Torah Kula. 3 nights taught him Kol Torah Kula, and the next 3 years he wrote Chedushim, and that's the sefer that we have from him. From the Chedushim that he wrote, the last 3 years when he passed away. Now, you know what that means? And Yishboim Steve is ready until the whole lifetime. Ready in his next lifetime. He was an old man. But he never gave up. He never ever gave up. And he was zoiche that a malach came to him, turn it, the deepest thing. When a malach teaches you it's a good rebbe, it stays knocked in. And it was to write he wrote from the next 3 years based on the Torah that was taught to him in 3 nights. Very, very powerful Indian. That's what Yitzhahara doesn't allow. Yitzhahara doesn't allow it. No, he's a sefer from Reb Shlomo Meyer from Lakewood. A best from Mashpia. I know he's very well. He wrote a sefer called Kach Magin. I think it's in Hebrew and in English. And he writes there, he makes a cheshbon. How many of us over here, you buy the what's it called again, the Mishpacha, or the other one, right? There's a bunch of magazines, right? The Ami, this, that. Make a cheshbon weekly, how many pages they have. The guy reads Chesed, the Vach and the Blick and all the magazines, and they make a cheshbon how many pages are in these magazines that a lot of Jews like to bring, like to buy. It's not a kanois show over here now. No, I'm not talking kanois. Sometimes maybe, no, I'm just saying with tziyas. Yeah, I'm quoting what he says. Yeah, that person can bring all of these things. Make a cheshbon something like 1,000 pages. Chesed, a Yom Tov edition you buy from every company. And he was talking my house, and indeed it's very important. Keep everybody busy, the whole Yom Tov peacefully, everyone with their magazine and everything. You know how much a person reads in there? You know how many blot there are in Shas? And Shas, this cheshbon makes it's like 2,700 pages. 2,700 pages. 2,700 pages. These magazines over one Yom Tov could be like 3,000 pages, and a person manages in a few weeks. Well, I have to advertise. But, between Chazering it over, reading it, and then within Zichah, between the Yom Tov and the Sukkot, you have the Chleisish, and there's so many pages, not nobody has initial reading, you know what I mean? I'm talking about reading, but I'm going to understanding, right? It's a moitik cheshbon, you made a moitik cheshbon. Whereas you don't understand, just, we can't, it doesn't allow it, right? Yeah, I saw that, I should already, embarrassed to say, right? I myself, can't say, we did it, right? We talked about it, we wanted, that's why I'm talking to myself, but he puts down the facts, so geschmack, you know what I mean? There's a mitzvah that if a person take a few minutes every day and just, and it goes in, and a person gets a hergel to become a masman. Rabbi Yosel told me a story. I've heard it before, but a moedik gesagt, it was a big tzaddik. Might be a famous story, but it's geschmack. It comes in. It was a big tzaddik that somebody watched him learn about Smother for many hours. I don't remember, many hours, a bunch, like maybe close to 10 hours or something about Smother. Maybe they could have it on a Shabbos afternoon. The person eats early, should have to seek him. And finish davening by 7:30. It's done by 9. There's 10 hours, 8 hours. The man through Shabbos. The guy was masmeratzim. Somebody said, "Wow, how do you become such a masmer? How do you just sit there and plug away?" So he says, "You know what? Sounds funny, but it all happened with 5 minutes." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He says, "When I was younger, I used to train myself. But now I'm going to learn for 5 minutes. Nobody's allowed to bother me. 5 minutes, mamish no batom. I'm just going to focus on my learning. After I was used to I could do 5 minutes and I don't care about anybody around me. I said, man, I'll do 10 minutes, but I can do 5 minutes again. I can do another 5 minutes. Yeah, I did 5 minutes, go another 5 minutes. Not 10. Once you do 10, it's already too much, right? I can do another 5 minutes. And then after that, he trained himself another 5 minutes, another 5 minutes, turned it into 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. He said it's a bislich, each little bit, but that all comes from a hergel of a person training himself. This Indian, it's a Geshmak Indian. And therefore, I want to go through, and by the way, in the poskim, it's clear that it's considered limit Torah according to many, and it's fakert, it's a moedik sipuk for many. But I want to go through a little bit. I think I spoke already so much as an akdama, and I think we will have time to get to the juice of it. But I want to go through very quickly a little bit of Sicha and Vav, the frat that it's the Indian of Mohorash Yahrzeit. It's Mohorash. If you left it Savo, which he did. I'm saying, but the Matthias says when it comes to mind, there are two things by him that Imam gave over to Klal Yisrael. Meaning they were given over before, but he came and he brought it down for every single year in history. Number one is the say the Derech Halimud of the Rebbe, that they could become huge. You can become a huge Tam Chacham. We really can become the Chacham. We go through Kol HaTorah Kula, and it's not impossible. That means there's levels. Of course, there's going through it like the Chayes, the Poiskim, and there's a way a person could train himself. Just somebody told me, I don't want to say who. Somebody told me this friend about tshuva. He was born from, but then he had a big tekufa. He didn't learn anything, and most of his life he didn't learn. He took himself seriously. He started. In 3 years, he went through Kol HaTorah Kula. 3 years, every book that there is, he went through. Fine. Again, you can't give him a test. You know what I mean? But the Matthias is he wanted to fuse himself, and he went through everything, every main sefer that we have. Tanakh, Mishnayos, Bavli, Risham, Shulchan Aruch, Rambam, Midrashim, Zohar. I don't know if he did all the Kisveri. I think also Kisveri. But all the main svarim that we have, listen, the Rebbe said we should do this all in 1 year. Chaim Kanievsky did it in 1 year. Rabbi Yitzchak Glasser Chaim does it in 1 year. You know that, right? He doesn't say it every single year. I can't tell you because it's being recorded, but I told you, right? I saw in his room, these are Yidden that if you follow this Seder, you can finish in 1 year, Kol HaTorah Kula. It's a Matthias. It's a real Matthias. Again, once you go through once, twice, 3 times, fine. And there's always and I heard one time from Rebbe, the Mukach Rebbe told me like this. Mukach Rebbe told me, a person has to help where he is right now. Right now, a person's like, you know what? I have a head right now to sit and plug away. I can take apart a Gemara and go through the in. Come on, sit down, take a Gemara, pack up Svarim this side. And Mamish break through the toys. Sometimes I can't even crack a book. I'm totally not interested in anything. I don't want to see Svarim. Right? So then just open up a sefer, just knock out, just be loved, just do something because at every moment, you have to both. The Rebbe himself says as an Indian, therefore do Sicha and Vav. The other thing that Mohorash gave over to rule is this all day, all night. Mohorash held that a person, they're not just, you have to be matriach to go in a forest, and you have to count an hour. Talk the whole day. Whenever you're not, doing something else, just talk to the Eibishter. There's always been Sicha with the Eibishter. Free phone calls to the. Imagine a person has an opportunity to talk to the president or talk to the richest guy. A person has an opportunity at all times to talk to the Melech, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. His Indian was, because why did this is not 1 hour, it's 24 hours. Always talk to the Eibishter. Got to learn. So learning. The learning is also talking to the Eibishter. I'm learning the Eibishter's Torah. Fine. The person has to daven. You have to. But the Matthias is at all times, whenever there's no such thing as he's not doing anything. The person has an opportunity just to talk to the Eibishter. These are two. Many of these are nakutas that he mamish made shaykh and gave over big machams. So here, just to go through, I think we're going to have to go through it as you talk and as a quicker manner, but it's important because it does give, even if you've seen it many times, it infuses nachamul geshmak and chis. The Rebbe says, I will like this. Shamati b'shmoim mikvar steeper. We already heard in the name of the Rebbe that he said over, that the Rebbe himself, Rebbe the Heilige Rebbe Nachman, from Breslov, Shalom at Kol HaArba Shulchan Aruch, Sholish Pamim. He's learned through the whole entire Shulchan Aruch 3 times. I've had learned it many times, but he was giving over an akuda of how he learned the Shulchan Aruch in 3 different defining. Pam achas kipshuta. Once he went through it and he got mamish kipshutai. The pasha to get all the halachas. Pam sheni lomad v'gomaroisam. He learned another time, the second time, and he went through it a little bit more thorough. Harinova yidei b'chol din v'din me'arba shulchan aruch hashoyer shlo b'gemara pirush Rashi v'toisvis. He was oichet the second time to already know this halacha. This is learned out from that Gemara over there, that Rashi, that Toys. He was able to, as you learned, it's all geschmack. You imagine come to such a level of limud, as you learn Shulchan Aruch, like, this is Masechtas Rav Kama, that Amid Beis Toys. As you're seeing the halacha, man was just going through it, recognizing all the psakim from all the, if it's a Rambam, if it's wherever they got it from, man was going through it. Such a keys. The people don't know how to do that. People that know how to, if they learn such a heck, if as you're going through it, it's this is a mission over there in Tamura. This is as you know, Mam Shal Geshmak. The Pam Shlishi Lama the Gomer of Zoch Lady B'chol Din V'Din Tzoy Rakavona Shaladin Meimad Din Kacha Pisay. That's why it wasn't just the first 3 times that the Rebbe went through it. Yeah, 3 different ways that the third time that he learned through it, he knew the soy, he knew the kavona, he knew that why the halach is like that according to Kabbalistic reasons. Yeah, the deepest of the deep. This is all when the Rebbe was very young. Because this is when the Rebbe was young, because later, it's not right, he just learned 3 times on one vacation. That was a masmeratzim. And the Rebbe learned it again over, this is when he was young. As we know, the Rebbe wrote Sefer Amidus when he was a child of 6, 7 years old, Sefer Amidus, Sefer Aleph. And it's something which even if Tzaddik HaKohen had to steig away, and when he made the Mar Mekoimis for Sefer Amidus. That means that the Goyin is the Rebbe already went through it. And Avad the Rebbe was the Rebbe and Rosham of Tzaddik and everything. But the Matthias is, when a person trains himself, Mamish, my son Lezer Nachman tells me, there's a boy in his class, these kids are 12 and 13, that already finished Shas. That made me feel very good. Yeah, like, oh man. I finished Shas. His father isn't dying, this kid's a smart cookie. They didn't do anything else in the house besides sit him. They were at the tab of the house. Kid didn't already finish Shas, he's on the second time. Right? Crazy. We're like, what are we doing? You know? He says because it's shy. I'm a person, I want to start all over again, you know. But everyone has to be realistic to know what they're doing. This is, by the way, the biggest usher yish talk in the world. The person has to know that they're in the show. Either we can't be Latzanim, we can't be Atzlanim, lazy people. We got to do. There's another purpose in the world or something else. Yeah, whatever everyone's purpose is, you have to understand and believe that the Derech Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov's derech is that Friday night you come together and you sing Koach Sof. We could say, what do you mean? How you can be sitting with Smedrish learning Marshal This is also derech and Avodas Hashem. That's a derech and Avodas Hashem. This derech and Avodas Hashem. The Vekas doesn't mean they don't have to learn. Everyone has there's that